They say it's clear?
Yeah, or is it secure for
Where are the
venues to
kids?
How you guys doing? Are you, what's your name? Nathan? My name's Jay. See, you've got some blood on you. Is that from you?
From her.
From her. Who did this?
I don't know.
This is 22-year-old Nathaniel Schimmel. What the officers are unaware of is that he just did something that would change the lives of him and his family forever.
How'd you get the blood on your shirt, do you know? How's you guys' relationship? Pretty good?
We get fight.
Yeah.
As the squad cleared the crime scene, they would find Nathaniel's mother, Michelle, face down in the dirt, surrounded by a pool of blood, with a knife wedged onto her back.
So basically, long story short, you heard her scream and you took your headphones off. You came from the back patio inside the house. You saw the front door open. You went out through the front and you saw her laying on the ground.
Wait, what?
At first, officers were told that a masked intruder committed the murder and fled. But as the investigation deepened and forensic reports started flooding in, they would realize the truth of this brutal murder was far more devastating than what they first thought, and Nathaniel right in the center of it all.
I was told that she was stabbed, that's all I knew.
What would you like to see as a resolution to that?
I would like to see Nathan either in jail for life or executed.
On August 23, 2017, in Palm Coast, Florida, on a quiet late summer morning, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office received a chilling 911 call from a young man describing something horrifying. His voice was urgent but confused, as he claimed his mother had just been brutally attacked by an intruder.
Flagler County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
47 Wood Hollow Lane.
Wood Hollow? Okay, what's
Yes.
going on there?
I think he hurt my mom.
Who's he?
I don't know. He was wearing one of those robber masks.
Okay, and this happened at 47 Wood Hollow? That's where your mom is?
Yes.
Okay, are you with your mom right now?
No. I got away.
Okay, do you know who could have done this? Does she have any enemies that you're aware of?
My dad, I think.
The man on the call informed dispatch that he witnessed his mother get stabbed, but fled the scene to his friend's house, meaning the killer could still be at the scene of the crime. Therefore, a cop squad was dispatched to the scene, fully armed, prepared to come face to face with a manic killer. Yet the reality waiting for them was more horrifying than they could have imagined.
They say it's clear?
Yeah, or is it secure for venues to come in? Yeah, four. Yeah, four.
Where are the kids? Weren't there kids here?
I don't think about kids.
210 Flagler.
Bravo 210.
Did you say something about kids? Who called this in?
I believe it's going to be the victim's son. We still have him landline. He's at the house down the street.
Alright, 10-4. Tell them to stay there, get a house number, and we'll make contact with them as soon as we can. Go ahead and notify ISD Supervisor Patrick through.
When deputies arrived, they immediately began clearing the scene, searching for the intruder Nathaniel claimed had fled. They swept the perimeter of the property, checked nearby areas, and found no trace of anyone else, no suspect, and no signs of escape. What they did find was far worse. The body of 60-year-old Michelle Schimmel lying face down on the front lawn with a knife still lodged in her back, pronounced on scene. Once officers cleared the inside of the house, something didn't add up. The home was completely untouched. There were no broken doors, no shattered windows, no signs of a struggle or a robbery. And that raised the first unsettling question. If this was really an intruder, then why was Michelle killed, and why was nothing else disturbed? Therefore, the cops secured the crime scene and located the son who called them and went to see him, but the way he behaved hinted at something far more disturbing.
How you guys doing? Are you, what's your name? Nathan? My name's Jay. Okay, I see you've got some blood on you. Is that from you?
From her. I
From
think
her.
she stepped in it.
Who did this?
I don't know. He was tall and he had one of those robber mask.
He had a ski mask. You've ever seen him before?
I don't know.
Was he wearing gloves?
I don't know.
You know if he was a white guy or a black guy?
I tried to get out of there since
Okay. So how tall was he? You know how tall he was?
He was really tall.
I'm right about 6 foot. Was he taller than me? About the same?
Maybe a little bit taller.
6'1", 6'2", maybe.
Yes.
How much do you think he weighed about?
I don't know. Just
Okay. What was he wearing?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay. All right. Was it a black ski mask? Was he wearing gloves?
I don't know.
Okay. So all you can really remember is he was about maybe 6'1", 6'2"-ish. Is he thin?
I don't know.
Okay.
He was tall and strong looking.
Okay. What was he driving?
I don't know.
Okay. Did he say anything? Were you and your mom both inside the house?
She was inside and I was on the back porch.
Okay.
I heard screaming and I came out and she was on the ground.
In the front yard?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like to the left of her with the back to me. I went right and I got in my car and I drove away.
Which car was yours? This one here.
So you were outside and just heard the screaming?
I was out in the back porch and I heard screaming and I came out.
Okay. And then when you came out to the front, you just saw this person running away
She was, yeah.
and getting into a car?
I don't know.
Okay.
The man identified himself as 22-year-old Nathaniel Schimmel, the victim's son. And from the get-go, something seemed off to the cops. Nearly every question they asked was met with the same response: I don't know. He also appeared far too calm for someone who claimed to have just witnessed his mother being murdered. But that wasn't all.
Who does she live with?
Me, my sister, kicked my dad out. They're divorced.
When did she do that?
They've been divorced for a while, but she recently kicked him out like a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago? Okay. And this is your dad or your stepdad?
My dad.
Is your dad? Okay.
He's an alcoholic.
Where does he live at?
I don't know.
Okay. Have you ever been there before?
We've like gone past that on the side.
Okay. What's his name?
Martin. His real name's Gilbert.
Gilbert. What's his last name?
Schimmel. Same as ours.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at you real quick, just because you got some blood on your shirt. Okay. We'll make sure that you're not hurt or anything like that. Okay.
Nathaniel had blood on the collar and the chest part of his shirt, which the cops noticed immediately, as Nathaniel told them that when he saw his mom getting attacked, he ran away and didn't approach, meaning he shouldn't have blood on him. Nathaniel also brought up his dad when asked who he lives with, conveniently mentioning that his mother kicked him out for being an alcoholic. And this is the narrative Nathaniel would stick to for now. Once he got checked and medics confirmed he had no injuries, the cop continued questioning Nathaniel, where his story changed again.
Are you injured anywhere? Lift your shirt off so make sure. Okay. Oh, you got some right here under your shirt.
What?
Yeah, go and put your probably. Did you go like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see your hands real quick.
I got some of it off in the sink.
Okay, you washed some of it off already? Okay. When you came outside, you said you saw this person he was running and getting into...
back to me and he went that way.
How far in front of you was he?
Kind of a little ways past her.
Okay. And then, how far was he from you?
To that truck, I think.
Okay.
Did you get in a vehicle or did you leave on foot?
I don't know.
No?
I got out as soon as I could.
And you immediately got in your car and you left? Did you kneel down by your mom or anything, or did you just get out of there?
I looked to see if she was okay, but...
That's it? Did she say anything, or... No? Okay. Can you see your fingers real quick, Kim? You already washed your hands, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to have to... You wait out here while I go get my pad. I want to write a couple things down, okay? All right.
The story wasn't adding up. What Nathaniel told the 911 dispatcher was completely different from what he was saying now, and neither version made sense. If his first story were true, that he fled the house after seeing his mother being attacked, then there would be no reason for any blood to be on him. And if his second story were true, that he approached his mother during the attack, then he would almost certainly have been injured himself and would have a better description of the attacker. So since Nathaniel claimed he didn't see anything, the other cops shifted their focus on the next-door neighbors, and what they revealed painted an even darker picture of this case.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So nobody heard nothing over here?
No. Something wrong over there?
We had a situation. Can't really talk about it right now.
Okay, I figured. That's why I didn't come over.
Yeah. Do you know the people next door or across?
I do.
Okay.
Martin and Michelle.
Is it just a female and a male?
And then they have two children.
2 children. Okay. Did you see them there today?
I really didn't notice. I was working in the backyard,
Okay.
so I didn't notice whose cars were there.
Do they usually argue at all, or?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
They're a nice couple. The girl works, so she's probably about 18. The son's probably about 26.
Okay.
27.
All right. And then them 2 have kids together? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
None of the neighbors saw anyone suspicious fleeing the Schimmel's property, like Nathaniel claimed. It would have been hard to miss a suspicious man in a ski mask running away. So one thing was becoming blatantly clear to the detectives. Nathaniel was lying, which shifted all the focus down to Nathaniel. But the cops didn't want to make it obvious, so they began with subtle questions. And the story was becoming clearer than ever.
How'd you get the blood on your shirt, you know?
I might have accidentally gotten it on my shirt when I was looking at her. I don't know.
She was on the ground, though? Okay. Did she say anything to you when you were talking to her? Were you trying to talk to her? Okay. She didn't answer any questions? No? Your sister wasn't. How old is your sister?
She's 19.
Okay. Does she live there too? All right. When does she get off work and does she due home?
8.
Work now?
Is it?
It's about 8. Yeah. She threw him out of the house a couple weeks ago. Has he made threats or anything, or?
I don't know.
No?
I haven't really talked to him.
Would your mom have told you?
I don't know.
No. You know, what does your dad drive?
Gray truck.
A gray truck? Do you know what kind?
Other than showing absolutely no emotion at the fact his mother was just murdered, Nathaniel once again brought up the strained relationship between his mom and dad, making the cop question whether there was an ulterior motive behind it.
Okay. Did you get along well with your dad, or did you get along better with your mom?
My mom.
Your mom? Okay. So he was staying with you and your mom and your sister, right? Okay.
I kept wanting to go out because I didn't trust him.
Okay. So a couple weeks ago, she threw him out, or he left on his own?
She kicked him out.
Okay.
The detective decided to shift his approach, moving to a standard interview technique designed to test consistency. He began asking Nathaniel a series of simple, clear questions about the attack. Details that would be easy to remember if his story were true, but hard to keep straight if it was made up.
You're on the back patio, correct? With a screen, is it screened in, or is it a sliding glass door, or is it a door?
Sliding glass door.
Is there a screen attached with it also? So it's just a sliding glass door without a screen. Okay, was that screen door open or shut?
It was open.
All the way?
I don't know. I think I opened it all the way.
Okay, so it was, you were in the back. What was your mom was inside the house? Was she cleaning or just watching TV?
I was on my computer.
Okay. Was she arguing with anybody that you know of, or just quiet?
I had my headphones on.
You had your headphones on? Okay. So, listen to music?
Well, I was watching the show, yeah.
You have a TV on your back patio, or? No? Okay. So you're watching a show, you had your headphones on, okay. Was it loud, or is it just medium? Kind of loud? Alright. So you're out in the back, and you hear your mom screaming. Was she screaming from inside the house, or outside the house? When she was inside, you heard her screaming. What was she saying? Do you remember?
I don't know. She was screaming, and I got my headphones down.
Okay. Was she yelling no, or stop, or anything, or?
Maybe.
Okay. So basically, long story short, you heard her screaming, you took your headphones off, you came from the back patio, inside the house, through the back, You saw the front door open? You went out through the front and you saw her laying on the ground? When you came inside, she wasn't inside though, was she? No, she was out in the front? Okay. And that's when you came out and you saw who you think might be your dad leaving. Okay. Was he running or walking? Okay. If this is your house, if you come out of your house, which way did he go? He went to the left? Okay. And how did you get from there to over here? You went the short way? Okay, all right. Did you immediately leave and come over here? Did you stop next to your mom or anything?
Before I got in the car.
Oh, did you try to talk to her? What'd you say? She's okay? Okay. What'd she say to you? She didn't say anything?
Just as the detective suspected, Nathaniel began getting confused with his own story, being uncertain with every single answer he gave the police, which was concerning.
What I'm trying to do is I'm asking all these questions. I'm trying to see if I can eliminate, like if you saw, if you had an accident, that it might eliminate this, and if he was, this tall, then it might eliminate, certain things, certain people. You know what I mean? That's why I'm asking all these questions, like clothing and driving and things like that. It's, by asking him, maybe we can eliminate, and we just get down to like maybe 3 or 4 people, and that kind of gives us a hand. You know what I mean? So, all you know is that your mom threw your dad out about 2 weeks ago, but they've been divorced for a couple years. Okay. During that time they were divorced, was he staying there?
She kicked him out. He's gone for like 4 months.
Okay, and he had come back. She'd kick him out again. Okay. Was she in the process of letting him come back, do you think, or no? She was done this time? Okay. And that was 2 weeks ago, right? Okay.
Detectives shifted the focus of their questions to Nathaniel's father, a move that helped keep the conversation from feeling accusatory. But to a seasoned detective, certain patterns were already beginning to stand out about Nathaniel.
Can I get your sister's name? That way when she comes home, they can have somebody meet her before she goes home.
Ilana.
Can you spell it for me? I-L-A-N-A. Same last name?
Yeah.
Schimmel?
They needed to learn more about who he really was, so they quickly gathered the information to find Nathaniel's sister. And once they found her, as she was on her way home from work, they started seeing the bigger picture of who was the man sitting in front of them.
Don't you fucking move. Hey, fucking prick. You can't say shit to me. In the car. Fucking shut the fuck up.
Now, imagine seeing so much more. Well, that's why we went all out and decided to create channels in every niche, which are still based on true crime for you to enjoy. I mean, who doesn't like seeing people's reactions like these?
I'll spit on you. Oh my god.
Hey, Jesus.
From no commentary to just interrogation, because I know some of you guys hate that. But that's not the end. We really enjoy what we are building, so we have an exclusive Patreon community where they get first-hand access to anything we post and all uncensored footage and images. And some of the things are truly horrifying.
I'm like her brother, Bob.
Okay, I'm Detective Annie Conrad, okay? I'm going to be sticking by you kind of probably tonight quite a bit. Do you know what's going on?
No idea.
I was so sad to see.
I was told that she was stabbed. That's all I knew.
Who does she live with?
Myself and my brother. Not my brother, he's 22. He can't keep a job. He's basically mildly autistic, which would Asperger's, ADD, lots of things. It's very difficult to live with. I woke up this morning. I usually work till noon. I work late till noon. I was getting ready. My brother left with his friend Christian for the day. My uncle Greg came over. He was bumping us up to the floor, and he was still there when I left for work. And that's all. I've been gone since then.
Okay, what time did you leave?
11:15.
Nathaniel's sister revealed more about the dynamic at home, and interestingly mentioned how Nathaniel was very difficult to live with, And despite this being a seemingly insignificant comment, it would help confirm something bigger later on. The next day, investigators sat down and began reconstructing the full picture of what happened the day of Nichelle's murder, as forensic reports came in, and they revealed something frightening. Despite Michelle being found face down in the grass with a knife lodged into her back, her cause of death was repeated stabs to the throat. That detail changed how investigators viewed the scene. If Michelle had been killed by repeated stabs to the throat, then the blood evidence had to reflect that. And it did. The blood on Nathaniel's shirt was concentrated high on his collar, and because he was slightly taller than Michelle, that placement aligned with the height of her throat wounds, quietly revealing what had really happened in those final moments. Yet there was one more question detectives didn't have the answer to. Why did he do it? Then, without warning, the department received a call from Michelle's brother. He said there was something investigators needed to know about Nathaniel, something he'd been holding on to. Unknowingly, the upcoming interview with Michelle's brother would blow the case wide open.
All right, and can you tell me what you believe you're here for?
Well, you're investigating the murder of my sister.
Okay. What was your what's your relationship with Nathan? And just for the record, we're talking about Nathaniel Schimmel.
Yes.
Okay. What was your relationship with Nathaniel Schimmel?
We were family, but I didn't really see them that often. You know, we'd be together for the Thanksgiving and Christmas and holidays, and sometimes, occasionally, you know, we'd have some kind of visits or something.
Okay. Before you came in, you knew you were going to be interviewed today?
Well, Alana had asked me if I would be available after our previous appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anybody talked to you about, what you're going to say when you come in here or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. So, when was the last time you had maybe a meaningful conversation with Nathan?
A meaningful conversation? It was hard to have a meaningful conversation with him because he didn't want to talk. You would say something to him and he would just kind of go grunt, and because last time I saw him inside the house, he was sitting there on his phone looking at anime or some crap, wasting his time. And what I would usually ask him about is, are you looking for a job or something like that?
Sure.
But no real meaningful conversation, I would say.
That was maybe a point of contention? Is him getting a job?
Oh, with my sister, it absolutely was.
Okay.
She was nearing the end of her rope with him. I don't know if it was that day, but at sometime in that time period, she went home and told Nathan, now she told me this later, she went home and said to Nathan, get ready, I'm taking you over to the employment place. And then she went into the bathroom to get herself cleaned up and get ready to go, and when she came out, he was gone. So that really upset the hell out of her, and I believe that's when she moved his bed out onto the patio. This is what she relayed to me. Because, all he wanted to do was sit around, play video games, and do nothing with his life. And she was trying to get him to do something. She was at the end of her rope with him. And she texted me, and probably here. I told her, she said, now what do I do? I said, well, maybe you could just restrict his access to the house now so he can't get in the house, make it uncomfortable for him. make him walk to the gas station to use the bathroom and wash up like a homeless person. Get a feel for what it would be like to be uncomfortable and not have this easy life that you're giving him,
Right.
And that was the day that it happened.
Michelle's brother was revealing a lot about who Nathaniel was, but there was one final question the detective wanted answered, and it provided detectives exactly with what they needed.
If you had to, if you were in my spot and you're trying to figure out a reason for everything,
a reason, or
not maybe a justified reason. I'm not saying a justified reason. I'm just saying a reason. What do you think that you would conclude with?
I would just say that he didn't want to do a damn thing and got pissed off that my sister was threatening to throw him out of the house because of this. And I don't know, he just didn't want to end up out on the street or didn't want to do what he should be doing.
What would you like to see as a resolution to this?
I would like to see Nathan either in jail for life or executed, to be honest.
The detective now had enough ammunition for the real confrontation, and it didn't take long for Nathaniel to crack.
There was a knife on the couch. I panicked. I just reached for it. She,
You just panicked.
No.
You panicked because she was gonna kick you out.
Yeah, I didn't want to be homeless.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. And you guys were standing in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And did she do something to make it worse? What happened?
She was just yelling at me, she grabbed me, and I panicked.
So she grabbed, did she grab you?
She just grabbed my arm, just trying to talk to me. I panicked.
Okay. And then what?
It just happened.
Where did you cut her?
The thing.
Okay. And how did the knife end up in her back?
I put it there so if I couldn't do it, I didn't mean to. I don't hate her.
You don't hate her?
No. I didn't mean to. She didn't deserve it.
She didn't.
With the forensic evidence, witness statements, and Nathaniel's own confession, detectives had enough to move forward. Nathaniel Schimmel was charged with first-degree murder for the killing of his mother, Michelle Schimmel. He was later convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.